In the Indo-Pacific, a new kind of defense has emerged, not of steel but of silicon. Taiwan's Silicon Shield is built on the back of one company, TSMC. TSMC produces over 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductor chips, powering everything from iPhones to military hardware. This concentration of power has made Taiwan indispensable to the global economy. The logic is simple. If the world relies on Taiwan for chips, it has a stake in Taiwan's security. This isn't a military alliance, but an economic necessity. Every new device, every data center, every missile system deepens this reliance. But as global powers scramble to secure their own chip supplies, the shield is being tested. Today, a massive US investment deal is shifting the ground beneath Taiwan. The move is meant to protect the US from supply chain shocks, but it's sparked fierce debate in Taiwan. Is sharing its crown jewels strengthening alliances, or giving away the leverage that's kept Taiwan safe? The story of TSMC is now about survival in the 21st century. Semiconductors are the hidden engines of modern life. Every email, movie stream, and navigation app relies on billions of transistors packed onto chips. These chips power AI, electric vehicles, 5G, and medical breakthroughs, all dependent on a steady supply. The global economy now runs on computing power, and most of it comes from Taiwan. National security is also at stake. Fighter jets, missile systems, and secure networks all need the world's best chips. Control of chip manufacturing is as strategic today as oil was last century. Any disruption, natural disaster, pandemic, or conflict, could cripple industries worldwide. The chip shortages of recent years were just a preview. A conflict over Taiwan would be catastrophic, severing the digital arteries of the world. It wouldn't just be inconvenient, it would be a global crisis. The stakes for Taiwan, and for all of us, couldn't be higher. Taiwan's rise as a tech powerhouse began in 1976, when it partnered with RCA to transfer semiconductor know-how. This sparked a new generation of engineers and the birth of Taiwan's chip industry. The real breakthrough came in 1987, when Morris Chang founded TSMC and pioneered the pure-play foundry model. Instead of designing its own chips, TSMC became the world's factory for hire. This allowed companies like Nvidia and Apple to focus on design, while TSMC handled the complex manufacturing. The result, an explosion of innovation and a new era for Silicon Valley, now dependent on a partner half a world away. Taiwan's government fueled this growth, building the Hsinchu Science Park and nurturing a deep talent pool. TSMC became the anchor, creating a network of suppliers and partners. This ecosystem turned Taiwan into the undisputed leader in semiconductor manufacturing. The island's transformation was no accident. It was a calculated leap into the future. Today, TSMC's success is the foundation of Taiwan's global influence. On March 3, 2025, TSMC and US President Donald Trump announced a $100 billion expansion of TSMC's US operations. This brings TSMC's total US investment to $165 billion, the largest foreign investment in US history. The goal: secure America's chip supply and reduce reliance on Taiwan. The US has pushed for this through incentives like the CHIPS Act, and TSMC's Arizona fabs are already underway. The new pledge promises to bring the world's most advanced chip making to American soil. But the deal isn't done. Taiwanese law requires government approval for such massive foreign investments. Taiwan's government publicly supports the deal, but insists TSMC's most advanced tech will stay at home. This claim is contradicted by statements from TSMC and the US, fueling controversy. For the US, it's about building a buffer against crisis. For Taiwan, it's a delicate balance: strengthen its alliance with the US, or risk giving away its greatest asset. The stakes are enormous. This gamble could either cement Taiwan's place in the Western alliance, or weaken the Silicon Shield that's protected it for decades. The world is watching to see which way the chips will fall. Taiwan's future may hinge on this decision. TSMC isn't just a market leader, it's a global monopoly in advanced chips. The company fabricates nearly a third of the world's computing power, and over 90% of the most advanced chips. TSMC's economic impact is massive, contributing up to 15% of Taiwan's GDP. Its customer list reads like a tech hall of fame: Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Qualcomm. When the US imposed export controls on China, TSMC complied, showing its alignment with US interests. But this also deepened its reliance on American and allied customers. TSMC is caught between its biggest market and its most important security partner. While the US investment is huge, TSMC is also expanding in Japan and Germany, and other Taiwanese firms are moving into India. These moves diversify supply chains, but none match the scale or sophistication of TSMC's Taiwan or US operations. The core of TSMC's power, and vulnerability, remains in Taiwan. The world's digital future is still tied to this island. As TSMC grows, so does the debate over how much of its strength should be shared or protected. The company's dominance is both its shield and its Achilles heel. The next chapter will determine which prevails. The US investment in TSMC has sparked fierce debate in Taiwan. Does it strengthen or weaken the silicon shield? For years, Taiwan's chip dominance was seen as a guarantee of global protection. Critics argue that moving advanced manufacturing to the US erodes this leverage. If America can make its own chips, will it still risk war to defend Taiwan? This fear is real. Many worry Taiwan is trading long-term security for short-term favor. The deal has made TSMC more reliant on US customers, and now its manufacturing base may follow. Supporters say deeper integration with the US makes Taiwan even more indispensable. By embedding TSMC in the US supply chain, they argue, Taiwan's security is strengthened. The shield, in this view, isn't being dismantled, it's being extended. It's a high-stakes gamble bet on integration or risk isolation. The answer will shape Taiwan's future. The world is watching to see which vision prevails. As the dust settles, experts agree, Taiwan's semiconductor ecosystem is irreplaceable, for now. William Reinsch of CSIS says reshoring the entire chip supply chain to the US is unrealistic. Taiwan's dense network of talent and suppliers can't be replicated overnight. US policy then is about integration and resilience, not total independence. Arizona's new fabs are a buffer, but they still depend on Taiwan's expertise. The US investment is seen as risk diversification, not a weakening of the shield. Meanwhile, the US-China tech rivalry looms large. Export controls aim to keep the US ahead in AI and chips, forcing TSMC to comply. This deepens Taiwan's ties to US security, but also creates new risks. Some analysts warn that if the US secures its own chip supply, China may see an opportunity to act. Is America building a fortress for itself, or reinforcing its alliance with Taiwan? The stakes for Taiwan's 23 million people have never been higher. Taiwan and TSMC face a web of risks that reach far beyond the island. China's technological progress is a key threat. If it catches up, Taiwan's leverage could vanish. US political shifts add uncertainty. A new administration could change trade or alliance priorities. Even tariffs on TSMC chips are possible, threatening the current strategy. The global market is volatile, as seen in the DeepSeek episode that wiped $600 billion from Nvidia's value. The chip industry is cyclical. Booms and busts can threaten TSMC's expansion plans. Economic shocks could leave both TSMC and Taiwan vulnerable. Competition is heating up. Samsung, Intel, and others are expanding with government support. The global race to build new fabs could eventually dilute Taiwan's dominance. For now, TSMC's lead seems secure, but in tech, no advantage lasts forever. The world's digital future is balanced on a knife's edge. Taiwan's next move could tip the scales. TSMC's story is Taiwan's story, a tale of ingenuity and survival. The stakes are enormous, not just a company's future, but the fate of a democratic society under threat. The silicon shield, once a source of confidence, is now a subject of anxious debate. Taiwan stands at a crossroads, balancing economic partners and existential risks. The $100 billion US investment is a monumental gamble. If it works, it could forge a deeper, more resilient partnership and secure Taiwan's place in the world. If it fails, it could erode the leverage that's kept Taiwan safe, leaving it isolated and vulnerable. The survival of Taiwan's sovereignty and democracy may rest on microscopic circuits. The world's peace and digital future depend on the fragile balance in the Taiwan Strait. TSMC's story is a reminder. In the 21st century, the most important battles are fought with technology and diplomacy. The future is being built on chips, and for now, that future is still made in Taiwan. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher.